Kevin Knox is no longer a New York Knick, but Cam Reddish is, and I couldn't be more excited about it. All that's coming up next right here on Riding with the Knicks. We're going to do 3 things in this video. First, I'm going to introduce you to Cam Reddish, not only the ball player, but also the young man. Number 2, we are going to talk about why I think this is an amazing move for the New York Knicks that we should all be excited about as Knicks fans. And finally, number 3, of course, as always, we're going to look to see what can we pull out of this to apply to our own lives to be the best versions of ourselves. Let's not just talk about what they're doing. How does this impact you and me? How do we grow as individuals? But first, welcome to Riding with the Knicks. This is the channel where we talk about the team that we love, the New York Knicks, the season as it unfolds, and the deeper themes that we can pull out of the game, apply to our lives to be the best versions of ourselves. If you're here for the first time, I'm only going to ask once. Please hit subscribe. This is a modest little YouTube channel that I just started. We're on the road to 100 subscribers. I think we're at 73. And so if you would hit that subscribe button, it would mean the world to me. I got my cheat sheet here because this is breaking news, and I don't want to miss a point. So let's start. Number 1, introduction to Cam Reddish. He was born in Pennsylvania, and he watched his dad playing basketball growing up. His dad played college ball, and that had a huge impact on him. In high school, he was a point guard, and then he ended up going as a 5-star recruit to the Duke Blue Devils and played on that epic team with Zion Williamson and, of course, our boy, RJ Barrett. On that team, they didn't win the national championship, but Cam Reddish had some ups and downs over the year. He ended up being a 6'8", with a 7-foot-plus wingspan, forward who people see as really being a shot maker, but not too much more than that. So that's him as a ball player, at least from people's perspectives. But as a young man, what are we getting in this kid? And I think that that's really special. I listened to an interview with him, and he said, basketball is not just a sport to me. It's my heartbeat. And that's going to lead us into point 2 of this video. Why do I think this is such a great move for the New York Knicks? Because that's the type of DNA that New York needs and loves. This is not just a game for me, says Cam Reddish. It's my heartbeat. It's my heartbeat. And he said, when he was asked about his game, or asked about his personality even, he said, I'm not too emotional. I don't get too high and I don't get too low. When he was asked about why did he want to go to Duke, he said he went to a rivalry game there, and he said, yeah, this is the environment I want to be in. That's kind of like a New York identity, New York DNA, built for the lights. Not too emotional, not too high, not too low. But he said in that first year at Duke, the one thing that he learned more than anything else was how to be mentally tough. Come on, he's talking New York language. These are old interviews before he even got traded today. And so that's why I think this is so great for our team, because you're getting a young man who, yeah, he's traded in his 3rd year, but he's got to be pumped about this. Like, he gets to go be with RJ Barrett, the guy he played with, the guy he called a brother, the guy that he's got a friendship with. And it shows that the Knicks are not only investing in Cam, and they're not only investing in RJ, but they're investing in, like, yeah, we're committing to this young roster. We're committing to this young, exciting, developing roster that's cost controlled. And so what more could we want as fans? Like, I hope you can feel how excited I am about this. That, like, I'm sad about them moving Knox, but maybe he can get reborn. He was in terrible situations with all the revolving door of head coaches and never really got a shot. He's got a smooth stroke. I hope he makes noise down there. I hope we beat him if we play him in the playoffs or in any meaningful games, but I hope he has like a career resurgence. But this ain't about Kevin Knox. This is about our newest player, Cam Reddish, that I couldn't be more excited about. So he's got that New York DNA. He seems like he's got that even-keeled spirit. It seems like he's got a work ethic. He said, I'm the guy that grinds. I've learned to grind by watching my father. And how much better, like, what else do you want? Like a dad who is influencing not only like what a kid likes to do, but how they like to do it. Like, not only like, yeah, I played basketball, so my kid's gonna play basketball, But I've demonstrated, and I'm saying but his father has demonstrated a work ethic. He's demonstrated how to grind, and those are the things that Cam has held on to and said, these are the things that you cannot cheat, you cannot cut corners on. And so it's said, all of his coaches have said about him that he's the guy who's first to the gym and the last one to leave. We hear that kind of language thrown around a lot, but not by coaches universally about a guy. And so if he's going to have that kind of attitude, if he's going to have that kind of even-keeled temperament, if he's going to have that kind of like grit and grind, if he's going to have that type of mental toughness, then he might thrive in being in New York and having someone who can help him manage that shock of coming to New York City in a best friend like RJ Barrett. So that's why I'm so excited, and I think this is a great move for the Knicks for so many reasons. Finally, what do we pull out of this? How is this more than just a team that we love making a trade? I think the thing that hits me like immediately about this is like there's always a new opportunity. And so Cam Reddish could feel like a failure getting traded 3 years into your NBA career. That could be like a death sentence for a career. And for Knox too, like he could feel like, you know what, like does it get worse? Now I was selected, I didn't really get a chance to demonstrate and show my talents, and now I'm traded. You know, I wonder how many guys are just traded after 3 years and they just start to become, you know, like a journeyman and end up overseas or end up out of the game. But the reason why I'm so happy about this move is because for both guys, for Kevin Knox and for Cam Reddish, like I think it's the right move. I think it points their careers in a positive trajectory. And so for us, every single failure really presents an opportunity. I heard this wild story today about this young lady that ended up being imprisoned for something she did not deserve to be imprisoned for. In her whole life, she was, you know, pushed out, pushed aside, not valued, had no voice, ended up in jail. You can look her own story up if you want. Hit me up in the comments. I'll tell you what it is. But when she got sentenced to life in prison, she said, I heard her tell this story today, she said, something sprung up within my spirit, within my body, from somewhere deep within me, that said, no, you still have a choice on how are you going to live out the rest of your life, even if it is in a jail cell. Now, her story's beautiful because she was eventually exonerated and is now doing amazing work for young women. But what type of like strength do you need to have? And I think that strength is within the human spirit. You hear people that when they come on hard times, a lot of people fold under it, but for some people, it's like this thing that unlocks a type of desperation, a type of survival from within us that is there just dormant or there just resident. And so I want you and I want me to see failures and to see hardships as opportunities to actually like let that deep thing within us out of its cage. Let it wake up and say, actually, no, I have choice in this. It might seem to Kevin Knox and it might seem to Cam Reddish that like their lives are being decided for them unfairly or fairly or whatever, but they actually have the authority, they have the autonomy, they have choice and decision-making power, and that means that I do too, and that means that you do too. And so whatever happened in your life, fair or unfair, whatever things that you've stumbled in, whatever you feel like you wish you could have a second chance, you can't, but you have today, and you have an opportunity to dig deep and like say, wow, in my spirit there's something that wants to thrive, there's something that wants to survive, and maybe I can find a way to let that thing out. And so maybe I'm going too deep on a trade for two young guys in the NBA, but these are the types of things that the league kind of triggers for me, and I wanted to share them with you. And so huge welcome to Cam Reddish, and thank you so much for watching this video. If you haven't seen other videos from my channel, go ahead, check it out. Again, well, I only said I'd say it once, so I won't say it again. but you know what I'm talking about. Until next time, let's keep riding with the Knicks. Let's go Knicks.